double hand planters. I wish you to note that the double hand planter in the bottom lower right shows fingernails. That is a cement planter, but with the bird, as you can see, it came from a casting. Ours will not have fingernails. Ours will simply be the gloves molded. So this is the fourth of, I believe this is the fourth of classes that were brought to us by the anonymous donor. We have had Allie, who did her t-shirt appliques. We had Marie Spear, who did her barn quilts. Last week, we did the screen printing, and tonight we are going to do the hand planter. So in your kit, you have a N95 mask. If you have any breathing issues, I would recommend wearing it. If you're comfortable not wearing it, you are welcome to as well. What we are working with is a very, very fine powder, and it's also sand and chemicals mixed together, because the only way to get cement is to have a chemical reaction. That's why I recommend the mask. I'm going to turn off my picture now. And I'm going to ask Nicole if she would be so kind as to give the appropriate alert, and we will start recording at that point.
I am now recording.
Hi, thank you, ma'am.
You are very welcome. Hello, Michelle. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
So what we have here is I need to adjust my screen. This is still a learning curve. This is my second time doing an online discussion as the lead artist. So as I was stating, you have gloves if you wish to wear the gloves. I actually gave you the gloves because we're going to be using these to form in. But if you went out and got, wow, there went my brain. Dishwashing gloves, those work as well. And again, your powder is very fine. As you can see, I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but when you pick it up and drop it, it's like flour. It just starts flying everywhere. You have your container that it came with. You can mix either in the container, or I provided a bowl for everyone so you can mix in the bowl. I chose to grab a separate mixing just because I am awkward as all get out. But again, I think everyone's predominantly white. I do have one other blue bowl out there. If you want to have something of a hand trowel, or you're welcome to use a wooden spoon, anything that's going to actually mix it up. So when we add water, we're going to add to it slowly. And as we add it, we're going to watch for it to look like a brownie mix type consistency. So blended well, but not overly runny. And all I'm doing is taking my glove, and I just pulled it up over. And we got to make a little hole air, and make sure there's air so you can actually get into it. I'm doing it this way for myself because it was easiest. I'm doing it by myself. So to get the cement in is easier having the bowl hold it for me. Again, you can use the black gloves that were provided. I have the dishwashing glove, and to prep the glove, I used a straight pin and I just put little holes. So I just poked straight through it. So there's 2 little holes in each of the fingers. That lets out some of the air to make it easier to pack down in. I'm just using regular water. This happens to be our local store, Costco. I am not by any way affiliated. I'm not getting any kickbacks from any of these items that I'm showing. I'm very hands-on, so I don't happen to be wearing gloves. It's not a chemical reaction that's going to hurt your skin. It's just a messy chemical. So that is all personal preference. But as you can see, I'm just pouring some in and slowly mixing it in. You want to move slow. Again, I don't think the screen camera can get it, but I've got powder flying everywhere just by going really careful with it. So that's what the mask are for if you have any type of breathing issues. Of course, I look really funny right now because I got my mask over the headset so you can hear me and I can safely breathe. But if you see, if you've done pastry, you know how you're making your pie crust? See how it starts to build up like that? So it's going to look like that as you go to mix it. I need to put more water in. Now, again, this is a chemical reaction. This cement sets up in like 15 minutes. Most chemical reactions get warm. When I did this the other night, mine did not. But if yours happens to, do not be concerned because that's what it's supposed to do. Fun parts of mixing. So I'm just going to mix along. As you can see, it's starting to get more compact, more cohesive. I've got like twice the amount of cement that you folks do, so yours should mix quicker. I apologize. I'll keep going here. I've intentionally added too much water so you can see that when you overdo it, it literally turns to slurry and a mess. When you put too much in, like anything else, once you get it stirred well enough, you need to put more product in. I'll put some more cement in here in a minute to get it to the consistency we need to be at. If you are working with this without gloves, do remove any jewelry. Because once this stuff sets, there is no saving jewelry. So see, this is a nice yucky mess. It's just really running. I'm going to add to it. As you're mixing, do be aware of where your computer is compared to where you're mixing. Last week, I got paint on my computer. I'm hoping not to repeat it with cement this week. A lot too much water. Hold on. I gotta add more cement in. This goes to show even with practice, you still can goof when you're on live. So while I'm having a mixing good time, I would like to let everybody know that both the Swanton Recreation Department and the Swanton Arts Council is open to any ideas of classes you would like to see, any activities you would like to see, and even better, if you would like to teach a class, we would be happy to get you started. We have mentors both in the rec department and in the Arts Council, so by all means step up and we will help you put on your own class. It's like anything else, it's a lot of work, but I find it a lot of fun.
I agree. I also find it a lot of fun. I love helping you all do some pretty awesome things. And I think together we have all accomplished some pretty great things.
All right, so future reference, 3/4 of a bottle is way too much water.
Let's also not forget to mention our awesome partners at the library who have supported us along the way.
Yes, thank you very much.
And the Swanton Arts Council is currently accepting poetry for the Kindness Poetry compilation. The deadline is April 28th. So if you're feeling creative after you make your hand planters, please submit your poetry compilation to them. There will be prizes and it will be cash.
By the time I'm done, I will make a concrete planter, I swear. Now, I am inside my house, so the noise you continue to hear is a great big trash bag that's got my cement bag in it, trying to make it not messy. I thank you folks for being so patient. It is part of the learning process, not just for the students, but for the instructors as well. Oh. And it's also like making bread dough. Your arm gets tired after a while. So this is probably a little bit thinner than what you have. See how it kind of drips. I had it thicker last time. It is personal preference. The amount of water will proportionately make it the drying time different. But because we only have an hour, I'm going to go ahead and start molding this. So again, I've got my glove prepped. It's got some holes in the fingers to let air out, and you just scoop it in. All right. Or you get brave and you pour it in. So now that you have it in, as best as you can, keep the glove top closed because you're going to end up wearing it when you go to press on it. But if you can see, this is, it's like one of those squishy toys that the kids love to have. But you can feel it going into the fingers. Got it nice and solid. Pull it all the way down, depending on how you want your fingers to look. So nice full hand. It's going to give you nice full fingers. Less of the mix is going to give you flat fingers. And depending on how you have it, if you can see, flat fingers are going to give you a crease, which will be interesting. I'll show you in a moment on how to pluck that out. But when it's full, it's still a crease, but it's a different type of crease. So once you have it filled to where you want it, I think I'm going to add a little more to mine. Or not. I just see this whole thing landing in my lap. But because it is a glove, you can re-stretch it carefully, bringing up your hand again. You can add some more in. If there's two of you, it's easier if one holds and the other one pours. But this is all easily a one-person activity as well. So at this point, depending on which glove you're using, if you want, you can tie it up if you're crafty enough to, or you can fold it and support it that way. Now I have a ton of cement. Stay. So with your bowl, and I've got some extra paper here that I put into the bowl. That's going to support the hand so I can form it. All right, so maybe I've got mine a little too full. You see how this is really bouncy? You do have 15 minutes to work with it. So if you need to, you can pour some out. You see how it's kind of just not working for me? Now at this point, you can use your bowl if you didn't use your bowl to mix in, or you can use your container to form it. I just poured some out. I want to get the extras that I didn't pour out into one spot. I thought those hands just look so funny. While it's pliable, you can maneuver it around, supporting it by whatever you would like. I'm using paper. You can use rocks. If you want to do the two hands, I'm only doing the one hand tonight, but if you're doing the two hands, you're going to be forming both of them. And then you see here along the thumbs, excuse me, no, along the outside. So you're going to put the slits along the pinky fingers. You're going to do a slight slit and let it a little bit spill out, and it will connect that way. And when you dry, you're just going to be picking out the hand, the glove. So there's no issues there. Now I'm using a bottle as a weight to try and form the hand the way I want it to lay. If you happen to go online, you can YouTube this, of course, and they'll show you different ways to fix it up. Some will use rocks to give you the indentation. If you want to put a candle, you would use a heavy candle in that position. You can easily prop the bottle straight up and you'd have that flatness as well. I'm trying to get it so I don't have a huge crease in the wrist, because that crease is going to be hard to pick out when we go to take the glove off. If any of you happen to have a very artsy child, Once this is dry, you can fix it and paint it any way you want it. So like if you got nail polish, you can create nails that way. I think mine like that. So the bottle is creating a slight indent. And I'm going to use this hand probably for a cash hand. Hold my keys and change. But I'm going to set that aside. I did one the other night. Make sure I got everything done up right. I'm going to give you a few moments. I'll be right back. Got a little trick going on over here on the side. I'm going to show you in a second. I just didn't expect to have quite as much cement, so I don't have nearly the amount of stuff prepared for it over here. I will be right back, I promise. And this time, as I am playing with the cement, there is a warmth to it. It's like lukewarm water. So again, there is a chemical reaction. It's supposed to be that way, but it's nothing that's going to harm you. It's not searing hot or anything like that, as you can get with some chemical combinations. Like if you're doing a resin pour, that resin can get really hot. So you have to be very careful what you're pouring it into. But with cement, anything you got is acceptable. And if I can pull in here, what this is simply an ice mold that I've put it into. This cement is good for up to 4 inches thickness. These are going to be little diamonds when they come out. The other day, I didn't have nearly as much extra, but using a bat mold, I have nice little cement bats. I'm going to fill this mold up because I've got so much stuff. So this is just another thing you can do with cement. Of course, this is where it'd be great if you had a partner because they could be filling up the molds and you could continue on. I myself do not have a crafty husband, so it is me, myself, and I. He likes how everything comes out, but he's just not up to getting covered in craft supplies to do it. He likes the end product and the end product only. And I'm quite sure we all know somebody like that. Somewhere in our timeline, there's someone who loves to see crafts. They're just not up to doing it themselves, which is perfectly fine. Because everybody makes the world go round. So I ran out of molds, but they take very little time to set up. Again, this sets up in 15 minutes. It's ready to go in about an hour. I used a lot more water this time, so I suspect it will take longer to set up. So I'm not going to try moving anything anytime soon. And as you can see, I am in direct contact with wet and it's not doing anything to my skin. And I am the type of crafter who loves to feel the craft. So it is a unique texture that I just fairly enjoy playing with. I've got baby wipes that I'm using to clean my hands with. And as you can see, once items are dry, it does create dust and dirt. But if you look on the back of these, you see there's a little ridge, regular sandpaper, and these are good to go as table decorations. So coming back to this big boy. So you can see where it was sitting on the bottom of the dish. You can see the indentations of where the paper was resting up against it. You can see I had a bottle on it here. You can see how it's kind of rested in. I only had mine folded over. If you happen to tie yours, you'll need to carefully snip at it. As you can see, as you go to peel it, the extra slurry that was up at the top is going to fall off and make more of a mess. It does not matter if at this point you tear the glove. These are not going to be reused for anything. And I'm just carefully prying it off. I was careful in how I placed it. So even though there's creases, it's just pulling right off for me. I can guarantee you, every other video you find, it will not pull off this easy. I paid attention to the creases, and I'm using quite a bit of force to try and pull on this. But I'm getting to the point where obviously I'm not going to be able to pull it out. So at this point, you take your scissors and you carefully snip at it. Now this is dried, it's quite firm. It's meant to be fill in for cars to drive over and stuff like that. So you can pull firmly without too much concern. Well, this will certainly be a test of your strength because these are thoroughly stuck in there. Now, it's not that it's stuck to the glove. It's coming off the glove without any issue whatsoever. It's because it's caught in the creases. I'm not sure if my screen can pick it up, but I just ran the scissors right across the top. I did no damage to the concrete. I went careful so I did no damage to my scissors as well. But again, you can be fairly aggressive in demolding, removing the glove without being concerned that you're going to damage this cement. That's why I chose this particular mix. There is all kinds of mixes, and every crafter will suggest a different one. I chose this one because it was a quick set, a very thorough set, meaning it's structurally sound, strong. Something that you can play with if you go on, and again, you can go up to 4 inches deep with this. As you can see, as I'm demolding, it does have a few fragile areas. So when I was setting it up in my dish, I created a, somebody helped that out. You've got this air pocket right here. So the air pockets make it very unique. You can take the time, if you don't want to have any air pockets whatsoever, and tap and tap and tap, kind of play patty cake with it. That will bring the air pockets to the top. again, if you're going patty cake this way, your air bubbles are going to come to the top. If you flip it over and do patty cake on this way, and then set it down, you'll end up having your air pockets on the bottom. And yes, this looks completely awkward. I am left-handed. I'm trying not to knock out my screen. At this time, if anyone wants to unmute and ask questions, by all means, I'd be happy to hear from anyone.
Hey, Janet, this is Joe. So did you wait a full 24 hours before now unmasking this particular piece?
I actually waited 2 days.
Okay.
Did this Thursday evening, so not quite, well, yeah, it was about 2 days.
Okay. Good to know. Thanks.
I didn't have to. Again, this is supposed to set up within an hour. It's supposed to be thoroughly set within 24. But I wanted to wait to do this in front of you guys so you guys got to see it. And
Yeah, it's a great idea.
if you look, I actually got lucky. I'm not sure how that happened. But there's all these little creases. And all of this came out. It doesn't always come out. Now this is basically rock now. So if you add colors to it, just remember your final product. If it's going to be working with plants on the inside, you want to make sure the colors you're using is either waterproof or you seal the colors in before you put dirt and water in here. This one will not get dirt. Not quite sure if you can see, but up in here, I was too careful not to get the plastic caught in the middle. And if I put dirt in here, it's just going to fall right out by my thumb. Not sure if the camera can pick it up, but because of the glove that I used, I have a print from the inside of the glove because the glove has the anti-slip on the outside. Got the anti-slip on the inside too, that ridge. So it adds a neat texture to it. You can actually kind of have fun and color it like denim.
Yeah, actually those ridges from the glove would make it perfect for mosaic.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't have it super, super smooth. So just those little ridges in there and gluing on some glass or pebbles would really work into your advantage for that, if you wanted to do that.
Now, where I had mine folded, there's a little bit of sharpness here. I didn't happen to bring it in with me, but from my workshop, I just grabbed one of those little, they call them a sanding block. They're basically a sponge with a sand paper on the outside of it. And you just can rub it smooth to your own personal preference. You can mix a little bit more of the mix and fill in the holes if you want to finish it out, make it smooth that way. It's actually kind of a funky feeling holding a hand like this, but that's your spent planter.
Janet, what kind of paint and sealer can you use, or should you seal it?
It's cement, so you don't have to seal it. It's fairly non-porous, so you could put the plant in right like this and you'd be good to go. There is cement sealer if you want to go that route. You've just been doing work on your house, so you may actually have a sealer that you can put on yours. Regular latex paint. The acrylic paints that we use in our art classes.
Okay, thanks.
If any of them have a slight water base to them, there's I'm blanking. It's made by Krylon. There's an actual sealer that you could spray over it if you want to make sure that the colors didn't run or fade. You can put UV protection on it that way as well. And I actually did that in a lot quicker time. It took me an hour and a half to talk through it last time when I tried my dry run.
One to kind of unmask before us so we can know what to expect. Really glad that you saved
Yes.
that for today.
Yeah, thanks for taking time to do that ahead of time.
It's fun. It's messy. I did the first one. I did this one downstairs in my living room. And yeah, I had dust flying. I have pets, so once I got done, I fairly cleaned everything up. I'm not sure what would happen if the pets had this on the fur and then licked it off their fur. I don't want to find out the hard way any more than I think we would lick our hands, obviously. I love the sound. It sounds ceramic. It's very smooth. As you, I'm not sure if you can see it well on the hand, but where the mold was, it's very smooth. Where the plastic was smooth in the hand, it's smooth. And then you got perfect image of the raised part as well. And I believe one bag of 55 pounds of concrete was about 25 bucks. I sent you guys all with about 4 cups, 3 to 4 cups of it. So one bag could probably make about 40 hands. I did have to buy 2 bags. I used partial bag for the to get everybody. So one bag did not do 27 people, 2 bags did. And these haven't been in here long. They're still a little soft, but as you can see, they're not taking any fingerprint off of it. So it molds up quick. So one more time, I would like to thank the Swanton Arts Council, Swanton Rec Department, Swanton Library, and our anonymous donor for class number 4 of Art Free in the Swanton area. You contact any of us for anything you would like to see or anything you would like to teach.
Thank you very much, Janet and Nicole, for hosting this evening so that we can try something totally different. It's awesome.
I am taking 2 weeks off. I do have 3 more classes. They are not fully signed up at the moment. So if you're interested, go over to the Swanton Recreation website. They are there, or give Michelle, drop her a line, and we will get you all signed up.
And for those of you that don't know, our Swanton Recreation website is www.swantonrec.org.
Thank you, Janet. This was great.
Thank you, Judy.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye
Bye.
now.
Bye-bye.